Welcome to Jet Plus World. On 20th March 1927, Dr. Ambedkar organized a satyagraha and went to Mahad municipality, under which he drank water from a public tank, Chowdar Tal, and broke the 1,000-year-old tradition of upper caste dominated social discrimination. It was the landmark and the turning point in India's social revolution, a bold step by Dr. Ambedkar. Today I will talk about this incident which has been largely ignored in the history of India, which has been mostly ignored by the historians of India. This incident has never been given the due place in the history of modern India. It has been largely ignored. People know about Mr. Gandhi organized Dandi March on 12 March 1930, 3 years after this incident, and that was given wide coverage by most of the modern historians, and that was shown as the most important event that led to the freedom of India. That was a movement against Salt Satyagraha, 12 March 1930. That was a movement against a law that imposed tax on salt collection. That could be removed by the stroke of a pen after the attainment of the independence. But this Satyagraha, the movement led by Dr. Ambedkar, was against the thousands-year-old social discrimination, social foundation, social social walls created by narrow-minded upper caste Hindus. This incident started on this Mahad Municipal Corporation. Before that, Bombay Legislative Council had passed a law which allowed all the public controlled properties like bathing huts and tanks to be used by all classes of people, including the depressed classes, untouchables, Dalits. Mahad Municipal Corporation was actually was led by two leaders from the caste community. One, Mr. Surendranath Tipnis. He was the president of Mahad Municipal Corporation. He invited Dr. Ambedkar to come over there and hold a conference and drink water from the Chowdar Tal tank to break this tradition up. Actually, Chowdar tank was a water pond, and the depressed people of depressed classes were not allowed to drink water from that tank. It could be, according to upper caste Hindus, it could be polluted by them. On his invitation, A.B. Chitre, again from the person, he belonged to Chandraseni caste community, and this Surendranath Tipnis, he was also caste. They invited Dr. Ambedkar to come over there. Dr. Ambedkar, with thousands of his supporters, reached the Chowdar Tal on 20th March 1927 and drank water from the Tal and this pond. And after him, all his supporters and many other people who joined the movement, they also drank water and broke the hundreds of years old tradition of imposed by upper caste Hindus that depressed people of depressed classes won't have water from this tank. This was this movement led by Dr. Ambedkar was a straight challenge to the age-old customs and tradition of the upper caste Hindus. It was the real beginning of the social revolution in India. It was actually attack on hundreds of thousands of year-old social traditions created by upper caste Hindus and the structure of discrimination they had created. It was an attack on that system of that structure of discrimination. In when this after he drank water and many of his supporters drank water, a rumor was intentionally spread that these Ambedkar supporters are planning to enter a Hindu temple, Bereswar. There was no truth into it, but a rumor was spread by some foul elements. And upper caste Hindus gathered and started beating and misbehaving with the people returning from this Mahad Satyagraha. They were returning from bullock carts and many other things like Tanga and all that, and they were attacked and beaten throughout the way by the upper caste Hindus. Dr. Ambedkar again decided to hold one more conference in the Mahad itself, and again, let me tell you in between what happened. Upper caste Hindus who did not like this Dr. Ambedkar drinking water from the Chavdar tank along with his supporters, later they tried to purify the tank, to depollute it. They thought that the water body has been polluted by them. Now the lot of cow dung and urine in many pots were thrown into the Chavdar tank, water tank, to purify it. See, the irony of our social system. A human being touching the water, water becomes polluted. And to purify water from this pollution, cow dung and cow urine was thrown into the water. Means your human touches it, it becomes dirty. And to clean it, cow dung and cow urine is being thrown into it. What the mindset? What the thought? What is thinking? What kind of thinking is this? See the attitude. A human being touching the water, water becomes polluted, dirty. And to purify it, cow dung and cow urine is being thrown into it. This is the India. Dr. Ambedkar also heard it, and then he decided that he will again go to the Mahad, that Chavdar tank, and drink water along with his supporters. In between, upper caste Hindus approached to the court, and court stayed it. Order issued a statement, order that matter be stayed as it is. Dr. Ambedkar, being the, believing in the law of the land, he respected the decision and postponed his program. He postponed it. He decided not to go ahead with the Satyagraha again because of the court order. In 1931, after 10 years, in 1937, Bombay High Court ruled, and the judge was the Englishman. He ruled that there is no ground by the plaintiffs. They gave us no ground on which the Dalits, depressed classes people, should not be allowed to drink water from the Chavdar tank. He said there is no ground. The order said, the High Court order said, there is no ground to prohibit them from drinking water, from this tank. No ground at all. And he said, thus this demand is completely illegal, unacceptable. But see, it took the court 10 years to say this, that there should not be any discrimination, and the water is public, maintained and controlled by the public wealth, government, should be, the Dalit and depressed classes people should also be allowed to drink water from them. Court, of course, it was a welcome decision by the court, progressive decision by the court, but even the court took 10 years to decide this. Dr. Ambedkar has written, as regards this discrimination, he has written many books, but in one of the book he says If children, it is about children going to Dalit class children, depressed class children going to school. He says a Dalit class boy, a girl boy, children, if they are thirsty, but they cannot take water from the whatever the source of water is there, pot is there. Some water pot is kept in the schools. Mostly pitcher used to be. What he said that if a child is thirsty, he cannot drink take directly from pitcher by himself. He will ask the peon, and the peon will pour water from handmade cup, this hand, cupped hand, and pour water from the above, keeping a distance so that it doesn't get polluted, to give the water to the child. And such a irony, social irony, that suppose a peon is on leave one day, then Dalit children will not get water. Despite being thirsty and needy, water is there. Water is there. It's not the case that water is not there or water is dirty. Water is in plenty. But if chaprasi, the peon, is on leave, Dalit children won't be able to drink water because they are not allowed to touch the water pot. Because Dalit children, despite being thirsty, extremely thirsty, they can't touch the water pot. They were dependent on the peon who will drink them water. If peon is not there, they won't be able to drink water. Such a pathetic condition imposed by upper caste Hindus on Dalits. Dr. Ambedkar had seen everything. He has written in his one of the books. My second point is that after 3 years of this incident of Mahad Satyagraha movement, March, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji organized Dandi March, Salt Satyagraha, Salt March. And on 12th March 1930, he reached to the Dandi coast in Gujarat along with his thousands of supporters, and by picking the salt, he broke the salt law. Salt law was what? It was a tax imposed on picking salt from the river beds. See, Gandhiji's movement was against foreign powers to get the freedom, and Dr. Ambedkar's movement was against social discrimination imposed by upper caste Hindus for thousands of years. After the independence, salt law could be struck with within a minute by just one signature. Very easily, it could have been. But can you eliminate abolish this untouchability by the stroke of the pen? Never. 75 years of our constitution, the country being ruled by constitution, is still upper caste Hindus discriminate against depressed classes people. Still, they are under the constitution, but they don't accept it by heart. Rarely accept. See, it was a bigger effort, it needed a bigger courage to challenge the upper caste in those days, 1927. Dr. Ambedkar's contribution is much, many times of Gandhi. Gandhi was fighting against foreign forces, Ambedkar was fighting forces within India. Very aggressive forces who had made this rule. Ambedkar's contributions to social revolution is many times more than what Gandhi had done. Historians have always discriminated and always misinformed people. They have misled people. Indian historians never gave any importance to Mahad movement, Mahad Satyagraha, led by Dr. Ambedkar, in the history books of the modern India. This movement was never given a due place by the Indian historians. It is largely unknown to the major portion of the Indian populace. Hardly anybody knows about it, except the people who are preparing for the competitive exams. I don't think many people know about it. But Dandi March was written by historians that it was the beginning of the liberation of our country. Social liberation was ignored by them, but the independence of the country, country's liberation from British occupation was highlighted by them. That was fine. They highlighted, okay, why did you ignore this? This was the bigger incident. It is the historians of India have always misguided people. They have misled people. In the same way, Subhash Chandra Bose was also ignored. 1942 movement was a complete failure, and 1946 trial of Saigal Sarmaj and Bhutto at the Red Fort created such euphoria, such a sentiment in the country that country, 25 lakh soldiers of British Indian Army, they were just about to revolt in the favor of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was about to take over. But historians never gave any credit to them, never mentioned him. They always lied to the people and highlighted 1942 movement as the real movement for the freedom of India. Actually, that was, complete failure. Historians have been very, very much discriminative, and they have misled this country. Meeting you in next video on some other topic. Please take care and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.